What's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Today we're going to be talking about board wipes and EDH. I already did part 1 of this where I talked about some pretty great board wipes, and here are some more. So, draw my pen, starting things off real well. Okay, so first card we're going to talk about is if you casually just have like $50 to spend, Damnation. Card's like really good. Regenerate can be like really relevant, and Damnation is also just really good if you are running like mono black or something like that. And again, if you just have like $90 to spend, or it's not 90, it's like 50, but same thing. It's like more than one, it's a lot of money. If you're playing white in EDH, Day of Judgment's a really good option. It's the same thing as Damnation except for it can't be regenerated, or it's the same thing as Wrath of God really, except they just can't be, you don't have the option of they can't be regenerated. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, words, I can do them. Okay. Then we have Killing Wave. And this is a card that I've seen like a lot of people playing EDH, and I'm just like, yo, that card looks like a lot of fun. I think I kind of want to play that card. So basically, what's really sweet about it is that it's kind of a weird sort of board wipe. Because say like they really want their creatures and they're very like, they want them, then they lose life, so it kind of like punishes them if they want to keep their creatures around, basically. And if you're playing a deck that's like very, you know, this card's just really good. I want to play this card. I think it's really sweet. Talking about all these like sweet black cards, and I'm like, yo, these cards are awesome. Okay, then we have this card called Living Death. And this card's really, really awesome. It's really good if you have like a ton of creatures in your graveyard, if you're playing like a reanimator strategy, if you're playing a bunch of like, what's it called? Like, ETB effects and like things like that. This card's also really sweet because like, if you have ways of like getting rid of your opponent's graveyards, like there's this one really awesome card that if you play like Daxos in EDH, which Daxos is awesome, he's like the enchantment dude that came out of the most recent commander sets. There's this really sweet card where it says like what it's like Constellation, so whenever you play an enchantment, you just get to exile target opponent's graveyard. It's really good. The card's like really awesome, so if you're playing like some sort of like enchantment Daxos strategy and you're playing that card, I would definitely recommend this, because you play enchantments, you get rid of their graveyards, and then you Living Death, and then you just get, you get the creatures, and they don't get anything, because they don't have any graveyard. Or maybe, like, they're just playing not a lot of creatures, and you just, you know, whatever. Living Death is super sweet. Then we have Supreme Verdict, which is, like, a personal favorite of mine. One of my favorite things to do is just quicken Supreme Verdict. That's really great, doing that in EDH. Definitely really sweet. Doing it in Modern is great, doing it in EDH is really sweet. I like it. I'm a fan. Okay, then we have Phyrexian Rebirth. This card's sweet. So not only do you get to destroy all creatures, you casually just get this big horror token equal to the number of creatures you destroyed. So like, you're playing this huge game of EDH and there's like 30 creatures on board. You kill all of them, and then you get a 30/30. Sounds good to me. When I was like talking to my friends about like cheap board wipes, I was in white, and I was like, why am I dropping everything? That's my life. This card's really sweet. I like it a lot. Speaking of white board wipes, we have Rout. This card is really, really awesome, and I like it a lot because it gives you the option, if you like really need to get it off your turn, because like if you don't, like you know your opponent's gonna win or something, you can cast it during your turn for 5 mana. But if you really, really need to cast it on someone else's turn, or else they're just gonna like combo kill you or whatever, you can just, for 2 extra mana, basically stop them, which is really cool. And they also can't be regenerated. Again, can be super relevant, so card's really cool. Then we have Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction is kind of one of those really weird sort of cards that I feel like red does a pretty good job of like sometimes like spot removal like type things, but a lot of times it can have like a difficult thing dealing with like a lot of things on the board. Chain Reaction is a really good way to deal with that because you have like, you know, you're playing, it's really good in the late game when you're playing and there's like a ton of creatures on board and there's like 25, and I'm like, alright, cool, everything's gonna take 25 damage basically, and you can kill like the majority of things. It's a really sweet card, I like it a lot, and it's also not super expensive, which is cool. Okay, this card is really cool, and I remember like playing against like my friends and they were playing this card. It's like really mean, but Massacre Wurm is so cool. It's just such a cool card because it ETBs and their stuff gets -2/-2. So like, say you did something else where all creatures got whatever, and then you kill a bunch of things, and then each creature who died just loses 2 life. So they've got like 10 creatures and that they all die. They're playing against like a token strategy or something like that. You know, all their creatures die and then they just lose 2 life. It is only opponent, which is really awesome. So it doesn't hit your creatures. So this is like a board wipe, but then it's stapled onto a creature. Overall, card is like really good. I like it. And the last card we're going to talk about is Life's Finale. I'm a huge fan of Life's Finale, and the reason why I like it so much is because you have that May ability where you can put creatures in your graveyard. Now this is an advantage for a lot of reasons, because you can peel through your opponent's deck, you can see what kind of big scary things they have, if you want to put stuff in their graveyard. If not, if you know who you're playing against, you can just say, you know what, for 6 mana and a black board wipe, that's not that expensive money-wise, this card's really good. And I really like the May ability on that because if you're synergizing this with that Constellation strategy I was talking about earlier, you're playing something like Bajuka Bog, or you're just exiling your opponent's graveyards, things like that, like, or you've got like Rest in Peace out or something like that, like, and you don't even care, Life's Finale is like really good for that. Yes, it's only one opponent, and no, it is not you, so don't try to do it to yourself. Yes, that would be absolutely sweet in black if you're playing Reanimator, I would be all over that. That would just like be in my Massacre deck like so fast. I actually do have this card in Massacre though because I needed another board wipe that was like cheaper. But yeah, this card's really sweet. Yeah guys, that was it for part 2 of Sometimes You Need to Wipe the Board. Part 1 will be linked in the description below if you want to check that out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.